Hi, everyone. This is Rich Berliner from the Inbuilding Wireless Association, brought to you by Fifth Gen Media. I'm really pleased to be here today with Bill Douglas. Bill Douglas is the author of Peak Property Performance. He is also CEO, Bill, of Opticwise.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, CEO of Opticwise. And we're going to get into what Opticwise does. But first of all, I'm fascinated by somebody like you taking the time to write a book about our topic and to put it out there, publish it. Everybody at our event in Fort Lauderdale next week is going to get a copy, and you'll be there to sign them. Tell us what the journey was like in putting this book together and getting it published.
I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. I've played with companies in 7 different industries, and I've been the CEO of Opticwise for a decade. And it fascinates me how much of the digital and data control commercial real estate owners give away to other vendors, to other networks, to ISPs, to cell phone companies, to whatever. So I was speaking at a conference about a year and a half ago. I kind of vented about, do you think Amazon would let you put a network in their building and take data out of it? Do you think Toyota in a manufacturing plant would ever let another company have a network in their building? No, of course not. They'd call you an idiot. But commercial real estate does it every day, every single day. Every building we walk into, whether it's existing or we're looking at plans on a new build, we're like, why? Why like these ridiculous 10, 12, 15 networks in a building, and then 15 systems with data all over the place.
How do you
A lot of
stop it?
times, connectivity is an afterthought. you
Yeah,
know,
no, that's no doubt about that.
yeah. And like, why shouldn't connectivity be first? That impacts the user experience massively. And then talk about all these other vendors that you get to pick, Mr. or Mrs. Owner. You should set the terms on how they run in your building, and you should have your data. It's that, like, own and control your digital infrastructure. And then I got off stage, and the president of the third largest REIT walked up to me and said, "You should write a book about that." And I kid you not, within 2 months, my uh, partner, now wife, got diagnosed with breast cancer and did surgery. And then she had to go into chemo. And I just canceled all my travel plans and stayed home for 6 months. And I thought, okay, I got all this time. So she would, I would write on the book a couple hours a day. Involved Drew, the co-founder of Opticwise. I mean, the founder of Opticwise, excuse me. And then 7, 8 months later, the book came out, and we pitched it to 5 publishers and Fast Company. Said, yeah, we'll publish that. That is right in our audience of fast growing companies, but enterprise, not small. Like they said, we can go Inc. or we can go Fast Company, and we want this to be in Fast Company because it's enterprise. So it's like, thank you. And they
Great.
published it last June, and it became a bestseller almost instantly. It was surprising, shocking, and since then we're just having the same conversation. Who owns and controls your digital infrastructure, Mr. or Mrs. CRE owner operator? And who owns and controls the data from all the systems in that building?
And how do you guide that? How do you make that happen so that the owner isn't losing all his data?
Well, of course, the vendor you hire, I don't know, say it's access controls, building automation, HVAC, elevator controls, lighting controls, whatever blank controls. Now you have a building, it's full of systems and sensors. Why aren't you running it? That's like the Internet of Things, right? Why aren't you running your building like the building of things? Like, treat it like your own little IoT, but it's not little. There's massive amounts of data. So no matter what vendor you pick for whatever service you need, operational technology we're talking about, not IT, like that's my website, that's my security policy, that's my firewall, but OT, operational technology within your portfolio. Any vendor you pick, you should make them be on your core network, not let them sell you another network that they have to manage. You know, like, I'm talking IP based and in building wireless. I mean, in building DAS is a little different. You can use the same core switches, but of course the antennas have to be different. But you can still come back to the aggregated single digital infrastructure in the building that should be hardened, resilient, not 10 networks, two, maybe three, depending on the municipality for fire and safety codes, and then make them give you a copy of the data. It's your data. Their contract says so. Don't let them charge you for it. Make them give you a copy.
Right.
Because if
And
you can
what
take
is
10, you can take,
OpticWise? I'm
pardon
sorry.
me.
I was going
Go
to say,
ahead.
what does OpticWise do? Do you advise companies on this? Tell me about how you help folks with this challenge.
We do have advisory services. We can do, guide you through this whole process, and you can do it yourself. A lot of our clients do. But we also have the other end of the clients that say, we don't have a digital architecture team. We don't have a data sciences team. We don't have any ability to process all of this data and get actionable intelligence out of it. So we do the whole gamut. But I will say we operate that in building network for you and provide 24/7 service should you want it. Like, so your tenants, your building engineers are not calling the property manager at the front desk saying, I can't get connected, or, this system's out. Well, we're going to know it's out before they do and fix it. So think about the core digital infrastructure being the wiring, the networks, the devices, the sensors, and then you have to add all of the systems. The systems may be on-prem or they may be in the cloud. So we're going to guide you through a process to clarify what you own, what you control, and what you don't. It may be in your building and you don't own it. Don't be shocked. It's very normal. And then we're going to talk about how to connect to all those devices and collect the data and use the data to coordinate and control your operating technology. You should drive your operating expenses down 3 to 5%, drive your insurance expenses down, drive your utilities down, increase your tenant engagement and their tenant experience. You should be
And
able to do all of those if you own and control your digital infrastructure.
has your book pushed or helped your business and, sort of symbiotic situation? Your business has helped make, drive people to buy the book. Has that been the case?
It has, but remember, we published the book because we were passionate about changing the industry. Like, you don't have to buy the book. You don't even have to hire us. We want the industry to be, I believe commercial real estate is lagging at least 10 years in technology. I've seen other industries. I've had managed services providers. I've had manufacturers. I've had retailers. I've had all kinds of service companies that I've either worked for or operated as the leader. And this one's lagging. They're very good at operating buildings. They're very good at making money from those buildings, but the technology in those buildings is lagging. I'm not saying the industry as a whole is lagging. It's had its challenges since the pandemic, of course, but there are many, many rooms for improvement, and it's not CapEx intensive. In a new build, you can certainly lower your CapEx, but in a retrofit, there will be some CapEx for this plan, a lot for this one, and none for this one. You pick. Well, maybe you want to finance it. Maybe you're having a transaction. Maybe you get tax credits for it. Like, every property is a little bit different. So
Yeah,
how do
that's
we
what we
engage with
hear.
clients is up to them. But we did the book as a thought leadership position because we genuinely believe this industry needs to own and control their digital infrastructure and have a strategy for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll continue to be adopted widely.
So that's what we hear from the industry. The Class A buildings, I was just talking to one of our other panelists um, uh, from the real estate panel, actually, that was saying, look, I'm a corporate real estate person. My buildings all have tremendous coverage. It's grade A, no problems. But the opportunity for the building surrounding the parking lots, the open areas, they can be challenged at times. It's the B buildings, it's the other industrial buildings that are looking at what they need to do with in-building coverage, and they're resisting. If my tenants don't demand it, why should I spend the money on it? And it sounds like you've got a real strong thought process on why they should. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we look at it as twofold. I think your coverage refers to will the tenants pay for it? So that's revenue driving. But having control of your digital infrastructure reduces OpEx, almost any class. So you have two levers. One increases revenue and drives NOI. The other one reduces expenses and drives NOI. Some classes have a lot more leverage in the OpEx and very little in the revenue, right? Rev gen. Some industries are very different. Most of them are right down the middle. It's like industrial, some of your tenants aren't going to want coverage in all of the base spaces, but they definitely are going to want it in the office space. So that's fixable. It depends on how sophisticated they are. If you have an Amazon move in, they're going to do their own. But in between, like it's called an intermediary distributor in an industrial space is still going to need coverage because their forklifts are becoming a lot more automated, right? They're almost driving themselves, even for a medium size. They're not going to lay fiber in your floor like Amazon would and fully automate it. But in between, they need coverage. Well, are they willing to pay for it? Or you want them to do it yourselves? We have found that if you offer coverage, whether that be Wi-Fi or cellular or both, it attracts tenants more. If you can figure out how to capitalize that and make that part of the offering, and even maybe you can put some of the expense in CAMs, depending on whether it's an office building or industrial or hospitality. It's very difficult to do that in residential, of course, but the residential will pay more for it.
So
It
here's a
being
crucial
connectivity.
question. Here's a crucial question, just exactly on the point you just made, which I think is a terrific point. I own a 10-story building. I have 10 clients, 10 tenants, one on each floor. Whose data are we capturing? You capturing mine for the building, or you capturing my tenants' information and data? And how does that divide up?
Great question. We are pretty staunch advocates that we do not collect tenants' user data
Interesting.
or any personally identified information. So, relative to this conversation, the book, or anything Opticwise, when we talk about data, we're talking about data generated by the building from systems owned or leased or contracted by the building. So, I have sons 28, 30 years old that pay rent. I don't like it when they become the product. I don't want them to be tracked. We believe in privacy. We have an ultimate privacy policy that most of our clients love, and they publish that, and it drives tenants to them. So a tenant, say that's a 10-story office building, you have 10 different tenants, right? Imagine being able to say to them, it doesn't matter where your employees go in this building, they're on your network, behind your firewall, behind your directory services. They could be at the coffee shop on the first floor, on the rooftop deck. They could be on the lawyer's office on the fourth floor. They're still behind your firewall. They're not VPNing in just because they walked out of your office doors. What's the value in that? Like that is a sellable feature.
No
You
doubt.
could, yeah, you can put the core in the cams because it's an office building, and then everything else is revenue positive, NOI positive, and
Well,
and
you're
all
speaking my
the whole
language,
building
Bill.
doesn't have to do it. Some tenants are going to say no, they just are. Okay, fine, you don't have it. Maybe 2 and 7 don't say it, but the others 9 out of 10 are going to say I'm in. The coffee shop on the first floor is going to want to lease it because it has 9 floors of people that can sit there and work on their company's network while they're in the coffee shop or while they're on the. We see golf simulators and bowling and bars and burger joints. First floor mixed use, no matter what the building is on the floors above. That is a very, very strong value proposition for all the retail and the mixed use.
Yep.
So that connectivity goes to any kind of wireless and any kind of device. You should extend that so they have that anywhere.
Yep. So I love the philosophy. I'm really, really excited about the book. And obviously, everyone who attends our event at Fort Lauderdale next week will be getting a book. I'm sure you're more than happy to sign it to anybody who comes up and asks. And this is really kind of a very crucial time for what you're talking about. I just got off doing another podcast talking about agentic AI and how that all fits, what the Joe Bacuzzi from NVIDIA is going to be speaking out at our event. So there's really a lot of information to be absorbed here about this topic. So I couldn't be more enthused about everybody getting a copy of the book and being able to see what Opticwise does. Um,
Well, I'm looking forward to
Bill,
the conversations. Ask all the questions you want. This is a two-way street. I'm not here to preach. Conversations. If it lifts your company, then I'm all in. I'll give you all the time you need.
yep. No, that's great. And I really appreciate you being a sponsor of the event. I really appreciate you being here with me today doing this podcast. So I look forward to seeing you, fellow Fort Lauderdale previous restaurant resident.
Oh, born
Uh,
and raised. I grew up
yeah,
there. Graduated from high school in Fort Lauderdale. I'm looking forward to going back.
I love it. And I can't wait to see you in Fort Lauderdale and the rest of the folks attending. Um, things are really heating up. We've got some special guests that I'm waiting to confirm for the event, but it's going to be really interesting with our NVIDIA speaker. We've got a reporter from the Wall Street Journal coming. And Bill, I'm so excited about seeing you in Fort Lauderdale. And please, everyone, register if you haven't already for the event, February 10th, Fort Lauderdale, the Downtown Event Center. It's simple www.inbuildingwirelessassociation.com. And I will look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for being with me today, Bill.
It's been an honor. Thanks, Rich.